Love is the flower you have to let grow. Worm gang pee pee poo poo.
Oh, hello, and welcome to an all-new episode of...
Get
Real. I almost said, welcome to another episode of Hot Toddy. That's not the name of this show.
It's your name.
That is my name. I'm Hot Toddy.
But it's on this show.
Who are you?
Me.
What's your name?
Miss Pingrino.
Oh, good. So we're back, and we're here discussing the first Christmas movie of the season.
Yeah?
This isn't our Christmas episode of Get Real, but it's a Christmas movie that we're going to talk about. We just got done seeing Red One, the highly anticipated Christmas movie.
I really don't know anymore when a movie is anticipated or not.
It really wasn't highly anticipated. It just was a movie that people were talking about. And
Fair enough.
Miss Pingrino, what did you think of Red One?
I love this movie.
Yeah?
I really did. One, because it's the first, I feel like, good comedy we've had in a hot minute.
Okay.
Could be just me, maybe, but
Well, it's mostly you. Yeah, it's fine though.
hurtful.
It's just saying. It's a comedy, yes.
It's a comedy, but I thought it was a good one. You know, lately comedies have been meh.
That's fair. It was somewhat of a funny movie.
Not to mention, I love The Rock and I love Chris Evans.
Right.
So, of course, it was going to be a winner for me there.
I guess. I don't know. I have mixed emotions about this movie. I thought it was a fine film.
Fine film.
Yeah, but it's, it wasn't great. It wasn't anything that...
Well, we're waiting.
It's interesting because, like, we've discussed in the past, I think we talked about it on the Spirited episode from a couple of years ago when we talked about the Will Ferrell,
Which
Ryan Reynolds.
you also didn't like and I liked.
Well, but we talked about it and I said that movie was just living proof that the era of the holiday classic is over. You're never going to find that movie like a Christmas Story, like a Home Alone, like a Christmas Vacation that's just going to just horse stance itself and say, I am going to be the movie you're going to go to every year,
Yeah.
I just don't think that we are in that era anymore. That being said, I actually could see myself rewatching this movie.
Oh, I definitely would.
Like Spirited, when I talked about that a couple of years ago with Spirited, that was me
You
saying,
never wanted to
I don't
rewatch
want to
it
go.
again.
It was fine.
And to be honest, we never did.
No, it was a fine movie. I don't ever want to see it again.
Yeah.
But this one, even though I do not consider it a Christmas classic, and it is nothing of the sort. If it was on again, I wouldn't mind watching it.
Because I feel like it gave you enough good chuckles.
It gave you enough good chuckles, and it was just a relaxing movie. You know what I mean? It's one of those movies that you can just kind of zone out and not have to use a lot of brain power.
You still know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I also, because for me, I love all the little creatures and stuff. There's a whole bunch of creatures and I love, and then they have this The Rock has this little arm piece in which he could shrink himself. So he's a little The Rock.
He's a little The
like
Rock.
This big.
It's funny you mention that because...
It's adorable, and I can't help myself.
No, you're right. And it's funny you mention that because one of the... I guess it's a highlight. It's also... No, it's a highlight because it's something you never see, how unhinged the North Pole is in this movie.
Oh, yeah, it's batshit crazy,
It
the
is
North Pole.
super unhinged. Just... anything goes, whatever you can think of. That's another thing, in the Santa Claus movies, it's kind of relegated to, okay, the North Pole is the home of Santa and his elves. That's it.
Yeah.
There are other mythical creatures out there.
This is a whole island for mythical creatures.
Right.
To come together and help each other.
There are other mythical creatures, but they're all ones that we know, like the Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, Jack Frost, never mind. But as we've come to learn, those characters. This is just unhinged. There is a scene in the movie. For those of you who don't get it, I'm sure you probably get it from the trailer. Of course, Santa Claus gets kidnapped. And it's up to The Rock and this master hacker tracker played by Chris Evans.
You meant me to rhyme?
I did, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Proud of you.
It's up to them to find Santa, but then it's like they're interrogating all the usual suspects, and one of the usual suspects is the headless
Headless
horseman.
Horseman.
It's like, okay, so it just all like
Bigfoot was there.
Bigfoot was there, like it just no holds barred.
Playing Krampus Schlock.
There are no holds barred, Miss Pingrino. Everybody said, I don't give a shit. Let's just throw them in there.
I kind of like
there
that.
was no, but I mean, there is no. That's what I liked about the Santa Claus movies is there was this kind of like cohesiveness, uniformity of the mythical characters to where it's the ones basically that are linked to holidays. Those are the ones, or to big events in general in kids' lives, like losing a tooth or something like that. Where it's mainly that and only that.
This is more just mythological
in general. And I'm just like, no, that's too chaotic. That's like a Shrek. That's like Shrek, you know, where you live in like a storybook land and all these people. Well, that makes sense. This doesn't make that much sense. I just feel like if we lived in a world where Santa Claus exists, okay, but the Headless Horseman isn't going to exist, Bigfoot isn't going to exist, Krampus isn't going to exist, but all of these characters, all of them.
But Krampus
all of them
should exist with Santa because he's always been the punisher of the naughty.
So children get killed at Christmas?
Not killed, coal. He gives them coal.
Krampus does not give coal. He steals children.
What he started with was coal, and then when children got even worse, they
look at this picture. You tell me that this is just somebody gives coal?
You want to play Krampus Schlock?
No, I do not. My head hurts. Leave me alone. But like every character exists, and it doesn't make any sense. I was just like, why? Why is the Headless Horseman a part of this? This doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, but it made me laugh.
Well, you know, it would make sense if like the Easter Bunny was a culprit. Oh, he's always, because Christmas is more popular than Easter, and so he's always been trying to get, like something like that would have been interesting. But no, they went Headless Horseman. It just seemed ridiculous to me.
You seem ridiculous.
I do.
Emotional damage.
But yeah, that kind of was like it was fun, but it was ridiculous all at the same time, and I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to put into words how I feel.
I like the ridiculousness of this movie, but you know, I like more ridiculous movies. That's more my thing.
I guess so. But here's the real question: who is this movie made for?
What do you mean, kids, adults?
Well, that's the question, because like it's a PG-13 movie. It looks like it's aimed at like families, but
is it really PG-13?
Yeah, and
no, this is for adults.
And you know that because they were dropping F-bombs and shit bombs and all of that stuff.
Yeah, they also were dropping a lot of sexual things.
Yeah.
You don't have a Wonder Woman action figure, do you?
So I don't think this is really for kids.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like there was constant swearing, but no, it's billed like a Christmas movie for the family, like most Christmas movies are. Usually, if you see a movie that's not billed a Christmas movie or Christmas, usually if you see a Christmas movie that's not catered to families, it's something like A Christmas Vacation.
See, I can't see the line.
Can't see the line, can you, Russ?
No.
A Scrooged.
You can see her nipples.
I want to see her nipples.
But that's the thing. I kind of put it into that category.
Bad Santa.
Motherfucker.
It's just out there in your face. This is not for kids. This is a Christmas movie that's not for the kids. They're not gonna enjoy it, and they might even like not. They may cry because it's gonna be so weird.
Oh, but baby.
So like they out the gate, they tell you that this is not for children. This one looks like it's for kids. It looks like it's.
Since when? I don't think it ever
looked
like it was for kids.
It looks silly. It's got silly monsters. It's got silly elf characters. It's got all these little silly characters in it.
Yeah, but it's.
And then of course you have Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans, who are notorious for being in more family friendly films, and so that's my thing. It's like I just feel like that it looks like it's catered towards families, but it's really not.
That's you. It didn't look like it was catered towards families for me.
That's what I got out of it.
I didn't even know it was PG-13.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
It's also not doing very well, this movie. 250. Do you know how much?
Really?
Do you know what the budget was for this movie?
Probably a lot.
$250 million.
Why?
And why? Exactly. That's the question.
Now that
Why?
I don't agree with.
Why did they have to put all of this into this movie that's not doing well, I might add? It's tanking at the box office right now. Horrible reviews all around.
Maybe I shouldn't be a movie reviewer because I like it.
No, because you like what you like.
I do. I can't help it.
And that's okay. It's okay to like, movies, even if they're the worst piece of shit that's ever existed. It's fine.
Okay, this is not the worst piece of shit ever.
Fine.
This is there's definitely worsers. Worse and more worse. Worser? Worse? Just worse.
It's happening again. It's fine.
I just pissed in my pants, and nobody can do anything about it.
But yeah, too much money for a movie like this.
I will say I had one problem with this movie.
Oh, you got a problem?
I did. Just because I feel like there was like a plot point that they could have played on, but they chose not to. And I understand why they chose not to, but like I was really hoping they would. I was waiting for it to happen.
This. Yeah.
Okay. One of the first scenes in the movie, is it Jake O'Malley?
Jack
O'Malley. Something O'Malley. At the beginning of all of this, they talk about how he can find anything. And he's a kid at this time.
Chris Evans' character.
Chris Evans' character. He can find anything but his dad. So you go along, right? And you're like, he's in it, and he's found this, he's found Santa, and he's gonna help Santa, and all these things, and he bonds with his kid that he winds up having, and all these things. And I was just waiting. I was waiting for either The Rock's character or Santa, what's his name?
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, or Just Kidding Simmons, to
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
to come out and be like, oh my God, you're my son. Like, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for somebody to be like, oh, you finally found me. You found your dad. And I get why they didn't do that, because both their characters are supposed to be like these wholesome characters who never do bad things. So obviously they wouldn't have left a son behind. I'm going to punch you. So I get why they didn't go with that angle, but I was waiting for that angle. Hell, Krampus even could have been his dad and I wouldn't have cared.
Out of Pepe!
Right.
Like somebody. I was hoping he would have found a link to his father.
But in a weird way, it's refreshing they didn't do that. They decided to go down this alternate route of there is no magical link, there is no magical connection, everything just happens. And I think it's nice that they didn't go down this, like Star Wars Luke Skywalker, connection piece. And I'm like, thank God, because that could get old
So
fast.
it was good for you they didn't do it. I would prefer them to do it.
I'm saying either one would have been fine, but I think it's refreshing that they decided not to do that. I think that was a better idea not to do that than to do that. That's my thought process.
Would have been his dad?
That would have been stupid.
Oh.
Just stupid.
Okay.
Thanks for playing.
You're welcome.
Bitch, are you for real?
Here's one question though, because every Christmas movie that features Santa, Santa's a giant secret from everybody on Earth, except for one. We watched it once before. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, where we nonchalantly live on Earth with Santa Claus. Santa Claus just exists, and everybody knows it.
Everybody knows.
But this movie, there's like the best of both worlds, where the general public doesn't know Santa exists, but the government does.
Yeah.
And they help him get around the world to visit people throughout the Christmas season.
Certain members of the government.
What do you mean, certain members?
They were of a certain mythical branch.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure like the president knows about that mythical branch.
Probably.
I'm sure the entire government knows about that branch, but it's a secret. It's sort of like the Men in Black of this universe. So I thought that was a neat touch. It's something that hasn't been done before. That he's not a secret. He is a secret to the world, but not a secret to the governments of the world. So I thought that was if Santa Claus were to exist, I feel like that would probably be more the situation where he would be kept secret Either that or the Santa Claus Conquers the Martians way, where everybody would just
live with it.
freaking know that Santa Claus exists. That leads to a very good question. In Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, does the Easter Bunny and all of them exist? Or is it just Santa Claus, and is Easter a sham? And is Valentine's Day a sham?
For another show. I mean, this show, but like another
have
of
to-
this something. Anyways.
Get Real Investigates. That's what that's going to be called. But all in all, my overall review of the movie was okay.
Okay.
It was no, I mean seriously, it was a fine movie. It's like I said, it's definitely a movie that I would sit through again if it was on. Honestly, if I'm not gonna pay to see it again, but if somebody wanted to take me and go see it again, I'd go see it again.
AKA your parents.
Exactly, you
Okay.
know what I'm talking about.
This happens sometimes. We pay to go see a
It
movie,
happens
and then
many
his
times,
parents
yes.
actually want to take us to go see.
So, you know, I mean, again, there's a lot of confusion of who it's made for, why it was expensive as it is,
Yeah.
why it's tanking with such a star-studded cast. You had Dwayne Johnson, you got Chris Evans, J.K. Simmons, Lucy Liu, Bonnie Hunt.
My one question
huge
is,
cast.
maybe they released it just a smidge too early.
I was
Like,
wondering,
maybe people are just not ready for Christmas movies just yet. Like, if they would have given it, like, a week more, maybe even 2 weeks more,
You're not wrong there.
I feel like they probably could have hit harder.
It
Because,
should've
like,
come out-
not enough people are in a Christmas mood just yet.
It needed to come out on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that would have been...
Or Thanksgiving
like
weekend.
Black Friday.
Next weekend is
Yeah.
when it needed to come out.
Yeah.
Because I think people would
I
have been...
think they beat the punch a little bit too quickly, so
They're-
that's one of the reasons I don't think it's doing as well as expected.
People would be in the mood at that
Yes.
point for a Christmas movie.
Any kind of Christmas movie at that point.
I don't know if that would have saved this movie in terms of quality, but I think it definitely
Would have saved them a little
helped.
bit.
Would have helped them out a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall it was fine, and that leads to the question, Ms. Pingrino, would you recommend Red One?
I do.
Yeah?
Even if you pay to go see it, I loved it. I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Love all the little characters and the little stupid, kitschy things here and there. Because it just... We haven't had a stupid Christmas movie like this.
We've had plenty of stupid Christmas movies, Ms.
That,
Pingrino.
in my opinion, that have been as good, since like Santa Claus.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I would recommend the movie too, just because, we are getting into the holiday season. So if you're looking for a kind of a
Something new from the classics.
kind of a brain dead, silly movie to just kind of enjoy during the holiday seasons, this is it. Again, don't get your hopes too high. This is not going to be a Home Alone or a Christmas Story type film that'll last for years to come. It's pretty forgettable. But that being said, it is one of those movies where if it was on, like let's say on TV or something, I'd watch it. Or, I wouldn't just ignore it like Spirited. I don't think I could ever sit through Spirited again.
I actually tried to put it back on after that whole video, and he just
I couldn't.
I'm pretty sure he walked out of the house.
I
almost.
did. Literally walked away. Didn't come back for like a year.
Just gone.
Came back the next year.
Yeah.
But Red One, if it was on, it's a movie I would sit through 100%. So
For sure.
A stellar review, a recommendation, a
So, more
recommendation.
realistic, if you want to go in between us. If you don't have the money to go to a movie, which is for a lot of people lately, okay, no worries. It's definitely going to come out probably pretty soon onto like one of the streaming channels. I think it would make a great Christmas family night. And by family, I mean like us and friends, or if you have some teenagers. I don't know if I'd recommend it for under teenage.
That's what I'm saying.
Ages.
It looks like it's aimed at families, but I don't know.
In personal opinion, 13, 14 and above.
Sure.
Because 13, 14-year-olds know just
And
about
it is
everything.
PG-13.
And it is
so there's
PG-13.
that.
So, and kids know a lot of things lately. But I don't think it would be a bad movie to put on and actually have a Christmas night.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think
if you're
it
going to have a
qualifies
Christmas
quite well.
party, well, I don't think it's going to be on streaming yet during a lot of the Christmas parties, but let's say next year. Again, I would go back and watch it if it was on.
Yeah.
So, Red One!
Red One.
Well, Mr. Greeno, that's Red One. Pretty good movie, right?
I loved it.
Hey, wait a minute. Didn't Caleb, a.k.a. Mr. Krabs, see this movie too?
Yeah, he sure did.
Huh.
I did, and it was very good.